Clearly, Ambassador, you are very, very busy during your daily schedules here and much that you have ahead of you. How were your experiences?
Yes, my first days here in Seoul were very busy. And on the other hand, they were very resultful. I met a lot of people. I saw a genuine desire to cooperate. And I'm grateful to the people whom I met for their readiness to have good relations with my country. Mm-hmm. This is something I am here for, to create, to establish good relations between people of the two countries. Mm-hmm. Because only the human contacts can create the atmosphere of friendship and cooperation. So this is my primary aim mm-hmm. here in this country.
Now, and as part of that plan, you would hope to renew good, pragmatic economic business relation that both of our countries share. But due to the economic crisis, this has slowed down somewhat. Do you have any plans to help push this initiative forward?
Korea is a well-advanced country. Nevertheless, we have a lot of interests in common and a lot of instruments to promote our cooperation. First of all, contacts between business people. I'm going to contribute to their cooperation, mm-hmm. to their contacts. This is the best basis for cooperation.
Are there any particular business sectors that you wish to see grow?
Sure. I have already mentioned energy, mm-hmm. and in particularly nuclear energy. It is research and development. For this, we have a very good basis in our bilateral relations. 2 months ago, we have established a joint Belarusian and Korean scientific center in my country. The people who are engaged in this activity are going to develop mutual projects in science. First of all, in basic sciences. You know probably that my country is well known for its school of physics. First of all, nuclear physics, mathematics, programming. These are the spheres most promising for our mutual cooperation.
Now recently, Belarus, Kazakhstan and Russia have joined together to form a custom union. Can you tell us about this accord?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We are uniting with our neighbors. For today, it is just 3 countries, but the market and its capacity is comparable to that of the European Union. It means that we are not going to have borders, we are not going to have customs. We shall promote free flow of capital, of service, of labor force. This is the aim of our union, and this is a very good possibility for the Korean investors to come to our country.
Thank you for telling us about this custom union. My other question would be, is there any potential for Belarus to join the European Union?
It is not on the agenda
mm-hmm.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Probably yes, but it depends on the people and on the circumstances.
Now, for our Korean investors and others, Ambassador, could you highlight something that would be attractive?
A lot of attractions.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, it's going to be a huge territory
mm-hmm.
uniting the 3 countries. On the other hand, it's going to be a big market. It means 160 million potential buyers and customers. Next, my country borders on the European Union, and we have special relations with the countries of the European Union. Being in the geographical center of Europe, between European Union and Russia, we are geographically best situated mm-hmm. to start new enterprise. And this is the possibility for the Korean investors. Both Korea and my country, we don't have natural resources, but we have brains, and good brains. Let us unite them mm-hmm. to create something totally new. First of all, high technologies, nanotechnologies, information communication technologies. Both the countries are have terrific prospects in front of us. And this is the possibility to do things together.
Now, regarding the political and bilateral relations between our countries, how would you classify where we are?
Next year, in February, we are going to celebrate 20 years of our diplomatic relations. Korea was among the first countries to recognize our independence. Probably the Korean people would be the best to understand our sentiments. For 700 years, we were deprived of our independence and of our statehood. And we have recovered our own state 22 years ago. And when a country as Korea recognizes our rights and our sovereignty, this is something we appreciate greatly. And we expect a lot of activities with which we shall celebrate 20 years of our friendship.
Now, I know that you've mentioned this before, but what commonalities do you see in both your country and Korea?
First of all, it's our history. As I have already said, both the countries date their history from the 20th century as independent states. Of course, my country was among the founding countries of the United Nations, but nevertheless, we were not independent at that time. And we have been under the occupation for many years. We both know what atrocities of war mean. I wouldn't like to recollect that, but occupation and losing people is a horrible wound in our common history. My country lost 1/3 of its population during the Second World War. I know that the losses of the Korean people was horrible too. And I know very well about the problem of the Korean ladies who were sexually exploited during the Second World War. I participated in the sittings of the Council on Human Rights in Geneva when Korea raised this issue. We understand very well the horror through which the ladies came.
Now, your country, as you have mentioned this, has a very strong, renowned, strong system to fight against human trafficking. Now that a resolution has been set in place to help this fight be more effective, can you elaborate more on this?
Yes. Last year, during the General Assembly of the United Nations, a resolution was passed supporting the idea presented by Belarus to coordinate international efforts to combat human trafficking. You know, this is one of the greatest crime today, which is comparable to drugs and terrorism. And Korea was among the countries who supported our idea to combat together this crime. At any given moment, every day, around 2.5 people in the world are trapped in slavery. Children, women, men are engaged in forced labor, in child soldiers, in domestic slavery. This is something we should combat together, and we are very grateful to Korea for support which is rendered to us in our efforts.
Thank you. Now, despite the historical political differences between NATO and your country, the discussions are continuing now. Can you tell us more about the discussions that are taking place?
We are neighbors with the NATO, and our policy is to preserve our neighborly contacts. We participate in the NATO's activities within the framework of the Euro-Atlantic Partnership Council and special individual program which is entitled Partnership for Peace. All in all, there are over 24 fields in which we cooperate. They embrace strategic planning, civil emergency readiness, science, technology, world terrorism, smuggling in arms and specifically arms of mass destruction. So there are many ways to cooperate, and this is what we are doing.
Thank you, Ambassador. We so look forward to seeing all your plans materialize.
Thank you.
And develop.
Thank you very much.
It was wonderful to have you on our program.
Thank you.
Ireland, a country with 100 years of history in Korea. Join us to meet Ambassador Eamon McKee to talk about his plans to bring bilateral relations between Korea and Ireland to a higher level on next week's Diplomacy Lounge.
Belarus and Korea established relations 20 years ago, but their ties run far deeper than the age of their relations. 20 years is not a very long period of time, but both countries are aware of their roots and their future together globally. My name is June Kang, this is Diplomacy Lounge, and we thank you for joining us.